Okay, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Nipun. I'm going to be running the TON5 orientation. I'll be taking you through the information docket, talking about the different details and the safety procedures. Then I'll come to the list of things to carry on what you need to carry with you, what are the equipment you need to carry, whatever is required. We are also recording this orientation so that we can share it with you on the WhatsApp channel at the end. So I'm going to be sharing my screen and then I'll start. My only request is hold on to your questions. I will answer all the questions at the end of when I'm done with the list of things to carry. I will request you when I'm done, when I open the platform for the question answers, if you press the react button on your phones or your laptops, you will see a button called raise hand. So as soon as what you would have noticed is, as soon as the hand is raised, it will go to the first top left corner. So accordingly, I'll know who raised their hand first and I'll come otherwise so that everybody gets a good chance. I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, great. So first, we are here for the Camp TON's orientation. This is the program which starts on May 26th and comes back on June 4th.
Network.
I'm just going to request everybody to be on mute, please. Okay. So first, I'm going to talk about Inme so that people who don't know about Inme get an idea on what Inme does and the history of it. So we started a company called Discovery Camps in 1996. The people who started Inme started this company in 1996. And the whole idea was to create adventure sports and get children from the metro cities to connect with nature by taking them to the mountains. So we started in 1996 and we were the first pioneer company to do adventure programs for children in India. The whole concept was to get them to connect to nature, but slowly and steadily as times changed and everybody, the generation, the technology changed, we evolved to become more of disconnecting from technology and discovering yourself by doing things hands-on rather than using technology for everything. While we are taking them to the outdoors, they are connecting to the nature, they are getting to do something different. It's more about building life skills in each child through experiential education and getting them to disconnect from technology. So this 8 days when they're on camp, they have no cell phones, there are no laptops, there are no TVs. It's an amazing, the first few days, yes, the children do feel a little awkward because they are so used to, doing everything and talking to each other using smiley faces or, emojis and stuff rather than actually talking to each other. So, the first 2 days, 2 3 days, they do take to adjust. But when they come back, the first question I usually ask is, do you want your phones right now? And they're like, most of them are like, no, 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 not right now. But once they get their phones, obviously they go back to their old habits. So yeah, so Discovery Camp started in 1996. 2005, it became Eureka Campouts. Then there was a split in the partners, and two companies started running simultaneously: Eureka Campouts and Inme. Inme started in 2008. 2019, both the companies merged and became one. So now we are one entity, which is Inme Eureka Camps. Eureka does the B2B market, which is basically we work directly with schools, where only a specific school with specific grades are coming for some specific life skills. In the retail program, which is what Inme does, is any child from the age group 9 to 17, depending on what age group they are from and what program code they're going on, they come for those programs and they experience our activities over there. So currently we're going to be talking about TON5. TON5 is Camp Tons is actually based on a river called Tons. It's right next to the river Tons. This, as you're seeing the campsite, it's a little outdated photograph because we have some new stuff here, but this is the wide span of the campus we have. This is the whole campsite. This is our own campsite. Even the right-hand side, empty ground, which you're seeing is our campsite. It's a part of our campsite. We have a small wading pool now in the middle and a mountain biking obstacle course built on this campus. So Tons is our biggest campsite. It's It has a capacity of 160 children actually. But we restrict it to about 80 to 90 depending on what group we are doing. Currently in this group, we have, wait, I'll just tell you, we have 40, I think, yeah. Yeah, we have 40 children registered. The maximum capacity is 65. So the Tons River, it's in the Uttarkashi district. This is 180 kilometers ahead of Dehradun. So if you look for Tons online, you might not find it. You have to look for Inme Camp Tons and you'll get the location. It's 180 kilometers ahead of Dehradun. So there are two routes to reach here. One is via Dehradun side, and the other is through Shimla side. This year we have started taking the Shimla route because it has wider roads. The bus can go up to 40 kilometers before the campsite. Originally, we used to be going up to 150, we were about 150 kilometers before the campsite, and that's where we used to shift to non-AC vehicles. Now we go via Shimla, and we reach up to 40 kilometers before the campsite to a place called Hatkoti, where they change over to non-AC vehicles. But till that time, it's an AC Volvo bus, which goes all the way till there with recliner seats. The Tons river is famous for its river rafting. It's technical river rafting. Unlike Rishikesh, so a lot of people ask me this question: what's the difference between rafting in Rishikesh and rafting in Tons? Rishikesh, when you're going on the Ganga, it's mainly a downhill, straight river. It curves a little less where the rafting happens. So you have a nice flow of water. So you're hardly paddling. The raft will keep on going ahead on its own. You're only paddling the rapids. Tons is a technical river. It keeps turning a lot. So the children have to actually paddle more, and they understand how the control of the raft is much more, because when you're paddling more, you're actually able to maneuver the raft a little bit more than what you're doing when you're letting it run with the water. So over here, when we're doing rafting, it's not as if we're going to ask the children, oh, guys, get on the raft and let's start rafting. We will actually take them sequentially, where they first understand about rafting, they understand about hydrology, they'll understand how raft works, and then start. I will come to the activities and I will go through all the activities, because they have to choose between mountain biking and backpacking, which they've already done, and I'll go through all of them. Sorry. So the temperatures over here are usually about 35 degrees in the daytime, which is midday, right? And for a very short duration. During that time, we have made sure that the activities are under the shade and they are not outside under the sun at all, so that they are under the shade and protected. So don't worry about that. At night, it drops down to about 22 degrees. If it rains, it can drop down to 15 degrees also on those days. They're going to be doing two activities: 3 days of river rafting, and the other 3 days are they're chosen between mountain biking and backpacking. Now, in river rafting, like I was mentioning, that it's not just that we're going to get them onto the raft and say, okay, raft. First day, they'll be on a raft which will have a rafting guide with long oars, so that he's in control. So the children will first understand how to wear life jackets on the beach, how a raft is blown up, what are the different parts of the raft, how to wear the helmet properly, and there'll be a check by all the instructors to make sure that they're all safe. Then they will be on the beach itself, they'll be in the raft, they'll get commands on what they have to do if a command is called out, like right forward, left back, all in, all those things, commands will be first taught to them, so that before they get onto the water also they know these commands. The first day, when they're rafting, it will be a small rafting session. It will be about in the river, they will go up to grade 1 rapid the first day, grade 1 to grade 2, where the control is totally with the rafting guide. So he's actually, the children are not paddling also, the rafting guide can easily take the raft through everything with the long paddle. So he's going to be just calling out the commands, getting the children used to the commands and the kind of paddling they have to do, the different types of experiences they're going to have. The second day, everybody is in small paddles, even the rafting guide. Now today, they will understand how their whole control is, how they have to coordinate, because if they're not coordinating, the raft won't move. So coordinating between the two sides, that okay, when the command has come, say all forward, so everybody is paddling forward. If they have to turn, say to the right, they're doing right back and left forward, so they understand those turns. what we'll do is today we'll flip the raft on them so that we get an understanding which if the raft flips during the rafting trip, what do we do? We do this near the beach. The raft is tied to the beach, and then we ask the children to flip the raft on them and then get back on top, flip it. Now, theoretically, I can tell you, when you flip it, if you get flipped, if you're underwater, you just go up, you make sure you're under the raft, there's an air pocket, you'll get that air, go back up, go onto the side, climb onto the top, pull the rope, and you'll be able to flip the raft. But experientially, that only comes true when it happens. While in our whole journey of doing rafting from 2001 till now, we've had only two raft flips, and otherwise there have been no raft flips, and the children really wish, because once they have flipped the raft in the practice, they are actually excited and they're hoping that the raft flips during the rafting trip, but they don't. So they understand how to do that. They understand how a safety kayak works. For each 4 rafts, we have one safety kayaker over there, so that if anybody falls and they are away from the raft and cannot get back up, the safety kayak goes and catches them and brings them to the raft, so that they understand how to hold on to the safety kayak, if they're in front, if they're on back, or if they're on the side, how to do it. So that will be taught to them. And then they will go for the rafting session, where they'll raft up to grade 2 rapid that day. They will be doing all the paddling with the obviously under supervision of the rafting guide. They'll also get to do something called body surfing. Body surfing is on a very mild rapid, which is actually below grade 1. We ask the children to jump into the river. They have to hold on to their life jackets with their feet going down river. They have to float through and navigate through the mild rapid so that they understand how to actually do that. So I always tell people that, if you don't know swimming, it's much better for you when you're rafting, because swimmers like us, we have a habit of swimming on our stomach. In a rapid, in the river, you're actually supposed to be on your back with your head upriver and your feet facing downriver. So it's going against what we've been taught, right? So the first instinct is to go onto your stomach and then go back. So that's why I always say that if you don't know swimming, that's perfect, because you'll able to make sure you're always in that same position. The third day of rafting is where we reach grade 3 rapid. That's the day also where children will be calling out the command. So the instructor will actually ask children, okay, what command is required right now? So that he or she will understand how much the children have learned, and if they need to practice anything, practice on that final run, so that when they get out, they know how to navigate the rapid, they understand the safety procedures, they understand how water works and why you need to be safe in water. The other 3 days, they have a choice between mountain biking or backpacking. They would have already chosen. If you don't remember, once I finish, you can ask me. I'll let you know what you've chosen, and if required, if something needs to be changed. Mountain biking is the art of cycling in the hills. You have to know prior basis that you need to know cycling, and you have to be comfortable cycling on normal roads. Once you know that, once you come for this activity, we're going to teach you the different gear ratios. We'll teach you how to balance yourself on the cycle during uphill, downhill, or narrow paths. How do you keep yourself balanced? How do you make sure you're safe? You'll be wearing knee guards, elbow guards, and helmets for this, obviously. So you'll start off, the first session will start off with an obstacle course on our TONS camp, where you will be able to go through different types of obstacles, going on the sideways, narrow paths, jumps, all those, so that you get an understanding how to balance yourself and keep yourself safe before you actually head out onto the off-road. You'll also understand to do some tricks like wheelies and stoppies, so that you understand what happens if you only use one brake, or if you brake too fast, so that you can actually keep yourself protected. So the first day will be spent on that, in the obstacle course and then you'll go away from the camp for a short ride, which will be rolling hills, which will be on the tarmac and a little bit of off-road. The second day is when you actually go on to the off-roading. You go uphill, downhill in dirt tracks to understand how you're balancing yourself. The third day, you'll actually go through a rocky path also, so that you understand if rocks come in between, how do you pass through them. And you'll do the maximum off-roading on the third day and then come back to the camp. Now that's the mountain biking. Backpacking is a trekking module. This is where we teach the children if they want to go into the mountains, if they want to go on a trek or an expedition, how do they do it? You can't just get up and start walking, right? You need to understand what kind of equipment is required. How do you plan out? So you know you have to go from one point to the other point. Now you have to figure out, can you do it in one day? What's the best path to use? If you can't do it in one way, where do you break your journey? What is the time you need to make sure that you've reached one point where you need to pitch your tents, cook your own food? So we'll actually take the children away from the campsite. They'll trek for 2 nights. They'll actually go away. They'll pitch their tents. They'll cook their own food, stay the night there, and come back after 2 days. So they'll go from one point, which is the campsite. They'll trek up. They'll pitch their tents, cook their food, then go to the second point, and then come back. Now, from when they go from the camp to the first point, our instructors are showing them how to do map reading, how to plan it out, how to do time management, and understanding how to identify a campsite where you can pitch your tents. So they'll go, they'll pitch their tents, obviously under the supervision of the instructors. They'll cook their food. So the children will be under the supervision at that time. The next day, we are actually going to ask the group to actually plan out. So we'll tell them, okay, so this is the distance we have to carry. So now you're going to lead, you're going to do the map reading, and you're going to lead us. So we'll be going along with what the children are instructing us. Obviously, if they start going on a wrong path, we'll wait for a little while. It's not as if the minute they start going on a wrong path, we're going to say, oh, you're on the wrong path. Sorry, we want them to learn by experience. So we're going to wait. We're going to see if they notice that they're on the wrong path or not. And say about 10-15 minutes of going on the wrong path, we tell them, okay, guys, let's head back. You're going on the wrong path. Let's redo this, so that they understand what went wrong, how to get back on the path, and then reach the second night out spot, do the same activity. They'll pitch their tents, cook their own food, and in the morning they'll come back. Now, for these 2 night outs, otherwise, the TONS camp, by the way, sorry, I did not mention, has built up toilets. So we have proper WCs with the hygiene, the bum washers, hygiene faucets, bathing area. For backpacking, when you're away for these 2 nights, what we do is we carry toilet tents. These toilet tents are long canvas tents which just pop up on the ground. We dig the ground and we do our job there. Now, we used to call this loo with a view or behind the bush activity, because at one point in time we never tent. So, you'll be sitting and you have a view in front of you. Now, we got in the toilet tent so that there's privacy. These are for boys separate, girls separate, obviously. So these will be 2 nights where they won't have a proper built-up bathroom or toilet, so that there are 2 days where they won't have a bath. Sorry. Now, obviously, all activities will be under our supervision. Beyond these main activities, there are going to be a small trek to natural pool, village visits, and a lot of afternoon activities, which will be, related to team building, leadership, empathy. This should happen on the camp itself. We have something called Each One Teach One, where we actually call the village children to come down, and our children give them tuition, so they keep them engaged and also help them with their homework and understanding concept which they might be struggling with. Okay, now left hand side is mountain biking. Just hold. Left hand side is mountain biking. The middle one is river rafting, and the right hand side is backpacking, which is on the night out, right? Now, how does a program flow, a daily program flow? 6 a.m. is wake up call. They enjoy, as soon as they wake up, they have hot tea, drinking chocolate available for them, hot milk available for them. When they come out, we do remind them to brush their teeth before, heading for tea. 7 a.m. is, which we call Chota Hazri, or warm up for the day. So they meet up. The instructors also ask them how was the night, if they had any issues, which you can help them with. And after that, they go for a little bit of jog. And then we do some fun dancing warm up activities on the camp itself. 8 a.m. is breakfast. 9 a.m. is when they leave for their outdoor activities. Like I said, the first day, they'll just go away first. So because there are going to be 2 groups here minimum, because there are 40, right? Depending on the activities. One group will be doing river rafting for the first 3 days. One group will be doing the second activity. So 9 a.m. they'll go away from the camp. They'll come back by around 11:30, 12:31. Between 9 to 12:30, there will be a small snack break, which will give them some refreshment, some biscuits, etc. 1 p.m. is when they come back and they have lunch on the camp. From 1:30 to 2:30, they have freewheeling times, which is basically this is the time they have an option of having a bath. Nobody is going to force them to have a bath until they're thinking, but because they're going to be doing 3 days of rafting, and we do have a wading pool and treks to pool, so they are just fine, and we really don't need to have a bath. So for 3 days, over here, sorry, we will give them an option for a bath, but a lot of children don't want to have a bath because they don't want to waste time, so they're in the wading pool, so they are enjoying themselves over there. 2:30 p.m. is when cool time activity starts. This is what I was saying, when when you're reaching 35 degrees, we're going to keep them under the shade. So they're on the camp itself. These are the time when they do team building activities or leadership, empathy, or each one is happening during this time. So from 2:30 to 5, they're on the camp itself. 5 p.m. is when tea will be served. Post tea, we have some fun activities where even the instructors also let their hair down. We might be having dodgeball or capture the flag, volleyball, badminton, all those things are there, and some other activities if somebody needs. During the first 3 days they've done rafting, or we see something has happened on the day, we do have a debriefing session in the evening. There are times when these are group sharing, which is if an activity is finished or something major happened, some major achievement happened on the activity, so we talk about that. On few days, there will be a personal reflection where in the evenings, just before sunset, we're going to ask the whole camp to go silent. That means even the instructors, everybody goes silent, and the children are given a book, kind of a self-reflection book called Cool Books. They are asked to fill those books, and for half an hour, everybody is silent. And that feeling over there, when that half an hour, even the children are amazed, because there are sounds they wouldn't have heard till that time because they've been making so much noise. There would be birds and other things which we'll be hearing which they've not heard. And I've heard children coming back and saying, "Oh wow, that was such an amazing experience because we could hear that bird, which that bird song I've never heard before. We heard the fish, we heard the river, just we could hear a rock going into the river. All those things they just start reflecting upon. 7:30 p.m. is soup, 8 p.m. is dinner, 9 p.m. is lights off. This is when we ask them to go to the bed. They don't go to bed at 9 p.m. obviously, right? They are excited, they want to gossip. We'll ask them at 10 o'clock again, and by 10:30 we'll be asking them to keep the lights shut so that at least they can go to sleep, wake up on time, and have a proper 8 hours sleep. Again, mountain biking, and the extreme right photograph is very important. What you see is a flip drill. So this is where the children are flipping the raft upright. So as you can see, there are instructors also who are standing on the bottom, right? And this is very close to the beach. Now the children are actually flipping the raft upright so that they can get back up on it. Now, in terms of safety, we follow 1:6. This is a strict instructor to participant ratio. For every 6 children, there will be 1 instructor on the camp itself, even on the activity. We assign, at least for every 10 female, we have 1 female participant who is a part of the 1:6. These are instructors who have been certified by prestigious institutions like NOLS, which is the National Outdoor Leadership School, or NIM, which is the Nehru Institute of Mountaineering, or the Himalayan Mountaineering Institute. These are all certified instructors, but that's not enough for us. For us, as we are working with children, they go through a strict screening, they go through a training by us. Every year we hold trainings for these instructors so that, they understand how times are changing. Just to give you an example, I used to go on these camps as a child, so that's how I got into this line. When I used to go in 1997, 98, 99, 2000, instructor coming and putting their arms around me or just putting their arms on my shoulder was just fine. There was nothing. But today it can be considered a bad touch. It can be something untoward. So, we have the instructors have been trained that you have to keep distance. How do you talk to somebody? If we need to correct some behavior, how do you correct that behavior? It's not that you can just start shouting at them. You have to understand how to be empathetic, how to talk to them, make sure you're stern, but not becoming rude. All those things are taken care of. In terms of transportation, we have third-party transport vendors, obviously, because we don't own our own buses. But these are people we've been using forever, right? We used to go by train at one point in time. The trains were becoming more and more let's say dangerous, because the yatra at this time happens is something called a Char Dham yatra, which happens, and the crowd was just swelling in the trains and there was no control on it. So that's why we stopped using trains, and the roads also became much safer. Now, till last year we were using the Dehradun road. This year, now the Shimla road has opened, which is wider. The Volvo buses can go all the way up, so it's becoming safer and safer for us with the buses. And what we have done is, for the overnight travel, the Volvo buses will have two drivers each bus, so that if one bus driver is feeling sleepy or tired, the other bus driver comes into play. We have a specialized travel team which goes along with them, which knows the route and ensure that the speed limits are being followed, nobody's doing rash driving, the brakes are proper, and also if they feel that the driver is feeling sleepy, they'll change the driver immediately. From there's a convoy rule. So when we are taking 40 children, we'll have, say, one bus, which is a 45-seater, which will reach Koti. From there will be smaller MUVs, so which will have about 7 children in each MUV. So there will be at least 6 to 7 vehicles, which will follow convoy. So we'll have them numbered from 1 to 7, and they will have to follow convoy. The first car is making sure that the speed limit is being followed, which is 35. We don't allow them to cross 35 at all over there, so that everybody is in a line and we go there. So the 40 kilometers actually takes about 1.5 to 2 hours to reach. In terms of equipment, we have the top quality equipment. Our equipment's audited and checked regularly. We only buy international UIA standard equipment. Each activity, before the activity starts, say they're going for mountain biking, cycles would have first been checked by the instructors, and then we'll teach the children also how to check, so that they understand if they're doing anything on their own, how do they make sure they are being safe. In terms of medical, we have a certified MBBS doctor on camp, 24/7 available. We have an emergency vehicle available over there for any kind of evacuation required. We have our own infirmary tent on the camp, which has all kinds of equipment required, nebulizers, IV drips, stitching material, everything is there, from the basic to the advanced. But there are things like ultrasound, X-rays, which we won't have on the camp. For that, we do go to the nearest hospital, which is in Purula, which is around 45-50 minutes away. If a need arises where the child needs to go to the hospital, or if they need to be given any kind of antibiotics or injections, or if they get a major scratch or a bruise or any injury, we will call you and we will inform you that this has happened. You will be given a choice to talk to your child if required. There was this child who had sprained their ankle, was not able to do an activity the one day. We called the parent up. We told the parent that this has happened. The parent wanted to speak to the child. The child actually refused to talk to the parent because he said, "I'm having so much of fun. I don't have time to talk." Right? Even though he couldn't do the activity, we made sure he was doing something. He was occupied, and these things can happen even in your house when they are going onto the gardens. These are sprains and bruises. Now, what I always tell parents: if your child comes back without even a scratch or a bruise, do call us. That means they've not done anything. They've gone into the outdoors. They're going into river rafting. They're going to go into rivers. They're going to go into forests. There have to be scratches and bruises. It's impossible to come back without scratches and bruises. So there will be some scratches and bruises. And these are really the things they remember the most. Oh, I got scratched here. Oh, I got bruised here. They remember this. Okay, this was so much of fun. So, yeah. In terms of accommodation, we have, like I showed you, we have a tented accommodation. There are 4 to 5 children in each tent. Each tent has about a 2-inch thick mattress, and on top of that, they put their sleeping bag. Now, when I come to the list of things to carry, also I'll mention it, but I'll mention it right now. You have 2 choices with the sleeping bags. You can either buy your own and bring your own, which is what the international norms or international camping norms are. But we do have sleeping bags available for all the children on our camp. These are not new sleeping bags; these are used sleeping bags, which have been sanitized and cleaned and sunned and then given to the children so that they're safe to use. If you're doing that, do make sure you're carrying a blanket or a sleeping bag liner just to make yourself feel a bit more comfortable. Uh, Otherwise, the sleeping bags are perfect. I use our own camp sleeping bags. I don't have my own sleeping bag, so they're quite clean and nice. Obviously, boys and girls separately, toilets are separate. Built up, like I said, we have built up toilets with proper WCs, hand faucets, and running water. For hot water, we have something called himam. Himams are old style tandoors where you can heat. You have a copper wire, a copper pipe going along it. So we have a small fire built up, and the hot water comes out from the other side. The children will have to fill their buckets and take them inside. We will be there to support them whenever they require. We do have a nice sheltered area, which is called the bomb shelter. Nothing to do with actually a bomb. It's a sunken pit, which is a little bit underneath, so it's much cooler than being above the ground. So that's why it's called the bomb shelter. In terms of food, I've already gone through, 9 a.m. 8 a.m. breakfast, 11:30 snack, 1 o'clock lunch, 5 o'clock tea with snacks, 7:30 soup, 8 o'clock dinner. So these are all mainly meals which are designed and decided according to the level of energy being used. So the day we have a very strenuous work, we'll have a heavy food, we'll have some fat and rich food so that, people have the energy and they can do, like we might have chole bhature in the morning for breakfast. So, they have a lot of energy. Mainly vegetarian dishes are made. We do make non-veg 2 to 3 times during the whole duration, which is kept separately, made separately. So it's a different serving dish, it's a different utensils used, and the cleaning area for your own dishes is different for non-veg and veg. So let's keep separate. If anybody is a Jain, that means no garlic, no onions, you have to let us know in advance. We can make food accordingly to that. Now, meal times, we are closely supervised by our instructors and the camp chief to make sure all participants are eating properly. There will be snacks and refreshments, obviously, during the whole day. If the children feel hungry, otherwise they can just come and ask the instructors and something provided to them. There is for water, we have AquaGuard filtered water available over there. We also keep squash or lemonade sometimes during the day so that they can refill the water bottles and just keep themselves hydrated. Now, slight changes here. Terminal 2 is shut. So now we are doing the departure from Terminal 1. For the people from Delhi who are joining this, you will be getting a Google Map location of Terminal 1. You have to just come into Terminal 1 arrival area, park your vehicles, come to Terminal 1 arrival pillar 3. For the children who are arriving by flight, we will be picking you up from either Terminal 1 or Terminal 3 and taking you to the departure point. So you don't need to worry. Just let us know what flights you're on. Somebody would have reached out to you. If you're coming on your own to drop your children on flights, there will be a number which will be shared about 48 hours before the departure, which will be the person who will be available at the departure points who you can coordinate with. The reporting time is 6 p.m. 7 p.m. is the departure from Terminal 1. On the return, they will return to Terminal 1 itself at 6 a.m. So the journey is about 505 kilometers total from Delhi. It will last around 14 hours, which includes breaks. We will pass through Solan and Himachal Pradesh, and the camp is approximately 181 kilometers from Solan. Solan is before Shimla. Now, when we are traveling, 7 p.m. we'll leave. So 14 hours means 9:30 reach. Now, if we get delayed by, say, half an hour, 45 minutes or something like that, we do make sure that breakfast is arranged for them en route so that they're not going hungry. So in the morning at Hatkoti, they will have a slight breakfast, which can take longer. Now, if that takes long, they might reach the campsite by 11:30. So we will send out a message telling you, okay, they've reached the breakfast spot. And once they leave the breakfast spot is when we'll update you on the actual arrival time. The previous groups which have gone in this season, there are 3 groups which have gone. 2 groups reached at 11, 1 group reached at 10. Mode of transport, we will be going from AC Volvo Bharat Benz buses till about 40-50 kilometers before the campsite, where the participants will transfer to non-AC MUVs. Some important expectation setting. This is so that you understand how communication will work. Sorry, somebody's unmuted. Can you please mute? Thank you. So we just want you to be aware about, I know I'm boring you, don't worry. Give me 5 more minutes. We are just ending this and the list of things to carry, and then I'll take the question answers. So, just want to make sure that everybody's on the same page about communication and what we are holding. So first of all, this is not a luxury camp or a resort. This is about living as a community. So you will have to work together. There are safety protocols. There are sometimes roughing it out, like when you're going on backpacking trip, or you're on, say, on mountain biking trip, and you might need to use the loo. You have to go to the loo with the view, right? We won't be able to set up a toilet tent just there and then right there for you. You have to embrace the challenge, the fun, and the learning. This is to get you out of your comfort zone. It's a part and parcel of experiential education. That's how you learn. So be ready for that, right? You're not going to get room service or stuff like that over there. It's not a resort. In terms of communication updates, as no mobile phones are allowed, that's the next line actually. So no mobile phones are allowed. Parents, for you, we send updates daily, twice on the WhatsApp channel. There will be a WhatsApp channel you would have joined. It would have come in the message where the Zoom link was also there. There's a WhatsApp channel there. Make sure you click that. You press join. Make sure that your bell icon. So there's a bell icon which will be on the top. Make sure that's not crossed. Whenever you have to go to this channel, when you open WhatsApp, it's in under updates. You have to go into the update section on the bottom or on the top, depending on which phone you're using. Just go into updates and you'll see the channel link over there. The channel over there, sorry. We will be on the travel. Once they've departed from Delhi, we'll put an update. Once they've departed from the dinner point, because they'll stop for dinner right after that. So 7 o'clock they leave. They will stop at Muthal for dinner. Post dinner, we'll be sending an update. Post breakfast in the morning, we'll be sending an update so that you're aware. And once they've reached the campsite, after that, there'll be only 2 day updates coming daily. One at 11 a.m., which is telling you what they're doing in the morning, how's the weather, how the children are feeling. And one at 6 p.m., which will tell you how the day went, what they did in the evenings, and what's the plan for the later on, right? And if they've had something special to eat, or if some group did something different, you'll get to know. Sorry. Now, in the mornings, we get group photographs so that, we covered everybody. In the evenings, we get some activity shots. We will be uploading these, but, parents, be patient. There are times the network goes, the instructors' networks are not there, and they're not able to upload photographs. We will upload all the photographs which come on a Google Drive and share it at the end of the program itself. During the program when it's going on, about 2 to 4 group photographs in the morning, and about 15 to 20 activity photographs will come in the evening. We do try to cover each person on these photographs. If your child is left out on one of these days, it's fine. If it's more than one day, do let us know. They might be hiding when we are clicking these photographs, so we'll make sure they're not hiding anymore. A lot of children are photo shy and they don't come. They try to hide when we are doing these photographs. So, it's okay if they miss out on one update, but if the second update you don't see them, do let us know. Now, these are not individual individual updates. There'll be group updates. If any child is going through any kind of difficulty, we will be calling you and you will get a call from us and you'll be able to connect and you'll get to know what's happening over there. No gadgets, no cell phones, no iPads, no Kindles, no smartwatches. Cameras are the only thing which are allowed, but they are under the responsibility of the children. We do have charging points on the camp near the bomb shelter where they can charge their batteries if required. But the whole responsibility is there. They have to look out for the camera. If it breaks or gets spoiled, it's not our responsibility. So again, no phones, no smartwatches, no iPad, no Kindles. In terms of fitness and preparation, if your child is into any sport already and is very active, you're good. But if not, I would suggest that doing a little bit of jogging, stretching, so that you're just able to get into the whole groove of the kind of physical activities required. If you're going to be carrying new shoes, make sure you're breaking into them by doing this with the new shoes. Zero tolerance for bullying and indiscipline. If we find anybody bullying, if there's a complaint, we will obviously talk to both sides of the parents. And if it required of one person or two people, depending on what's happening, they might be asked to leave the camp and go back home, which we arrange, but it will be at the expense of the parents. Use of substance, possession or consumption. That means that even if you're possessing it and not consuming it, if any cigarettes, alcohol, or any contraband is found, it will result in immediate expulsion from the program and you'll be brought back to your location. No junk food or tuck. You do not need to carry any junk food. You can carry junk food or tuck if you want for the travel. While we will be carrying a lot of snacks for you guys. On the camp, we don't want you having anything in the tents or having this kind of food because it's not going to give you the right energy. We need you to have enough energy and be fully charged for these activities, right? They're not normal activities. So make sure you're not carrying too much of tuck. If you are, anything which is left once you reach the campsite, anything which is not finished, we'll be asking you to hand it over. If it's a sealed packet, we label it and give it back to you on the end of the program so that you can use it for the return journey. Whatever is open, we have a party. The instructors also get to have some junk food there. In terms of pocket money, we take care of everything. You do not need to send too much money. Children can carry up to 3,000 rupees to buy memorabilia from our campsite, which is the camp merchandise, like keychains, caps, t-shirts. So they can go for that. Other than that, if you're flying in, you will have to carry a little bit of extra money for the airport meals, in-flight meals. So make sure you're carrying a little bit more for that. Now, coming to the list of things to carry before I open the platform for questions and answers. Now, try to follow this list. You do not need to overpack or underpack. Like I had mentioned that, the weather will be around 35, 37 degrees and will drop down to 15 to 24 in the night if it rains. 8 t-shirts, out of which 4 should be quick dry so that you can use them when you're going river rafting or water activities and they dry off quickly. 4 pair of shorts, that means 4 shorts. Some parents have actually called us and asked us, do you mean by 4 pairs meaning 8? No. 4 shorts, 2 should be quick dry so that you could use them for river rafting or water activities. 1 sweatshirt, which should be full sleeves. A hoodie would be perfect. 3 track pants. Backpacking and mountain biking will only happen in track pants. You won't be allowed to wear jeans or shorts for them. So you have to make sure you're carrying track pants, right? Joggers or synthetic, any will do. But make sure they're stretchable, right? So that if you need to stretch, you can easily do it. 8 pairs of socks, 1 towel quick dry, 1 cap or sunshade. Undergarments for 8 days. Your children and parents, you know how much you'll need. Some children use more, some children use exactly the same amount. So make sure you're carrying at least 1 or 2 sets extra, just in case you require them. 2 pair of night clothes, 2 warm jackets, because in the evening it can get quite chilly with the river being nearby. And if it rains, it does get chilly and they'll need at least 2 jackets so that if one gets wet, they have an extra one. 1 poncho or raincoat. Now, if your warm jacket is waterproof and a little bit longer, which come down to your hips, you can skip the poncho or raincoat and just use the jacket. In terms of footwear, there are no specialized shoes you need. Normal rubber-soled sports shoes are perfect. You do not need to go and buy specific trekking shoes or anything. Normal sports shoes are just what you need. If you have trekking shoes, do get them. You can use them also. But if you don't need to go and buy them specifically, right? So normal sports shoes should be in good condition. Make sure the sole has grooves in it. I've seen children coming in soles which are flat and smooth. They slip on the rock, so you need to make sure. One pair of hiking sandals, which are what we used to call floaters. These are used for on camp, and they're on the camp, and they're in the wading pool. One pair of aqua shoes or Crocs for river rafting. Uh, if you want to use hiking sandals, you can, but we recommend you use aqua shoes or Crocs for the rafting. On the camp, we won't allow you to be using aqua shoes, Crocs, or slippers. Slippers, obviously, people don't realize they are meant to slip in and slip out of, so you can actually slip. Crocs are covered toes with holes, so you can get insects or pebbles going in, and then you're jumping up and down, so you can fall. Aqua shoes are totally covered. You can use them, but they will be hot, so you won't want to use hiking sandal or floaters. Now, children who have chosen mountain biking, this is only for those people. If we want you to carry one pair of biking gloves because each hand has a different size, so make sure you're carrying your biking gloves. Two pair of padded cycling shorts. This is totally optional. This is just to protect your bum and also to reduce chafing. If you would like, please do carry two pair of padded cycling shorts. Knee and elbow guards are optional. We have them on camp for which we give to the children. But if you want to carry your own, you can easily carry. You will have to wear them. When I say optional, is optional to carry. It is compulsory for you to wear them while you're on activity. Other items, personal toiletries other than your normal shower gel, toothbrush, toothpaste. You should carry sunscreen, SPF 30 plus, lip balm, and cold cream. Mosquito repellent cream or spray. There will be mosquitoes in the evening. You will need like Odomos or some kind of cream or spray to make sure that they're away. One pair of sunglasses, a torch or a headlamp. You will need this at night, especially if the light goes. It takes about 25 to 30 minutes for the generators to kick in. If you need to do anything at that time, you need the torch or a headlamp. If you're in the tent, obviously at night, other people are sleeping, so you should not disturb them and use a torch or a headlamp. Plastic bag for used and wet clothes so that you can just store them in and not spoil the other clothes. One water bottle, 750 ml to 1 liter capacity, something like what I'm using right now is just fine. Make sure the children are carrying this because we are trying to reduce plastic waste. So we are not giving them a bottled water. We are giving them filtered water for refilling on camp. On the buses, we have these 25-liter Bisleri water bottles, which are the 25-liter jerry cans, and we have dispensers for them so that they can refill their water bottles over there. So no personal drinking water bottles are given the plastic water bottles to. Sleeping bag and inflatable pillow. I already spoke about the sleeping bag. It's optional. If you would like to carry your own, as per the international camping norms, please do carry. You do not need to buy. If you're buying it, when you go over there, you have to look at the temperature. So suitable for 10 degrees Celsius is the perfect one. You do not need to get anything fancy. Any child who's not carrying sleeping bag, we will provide you with a sleeping bag. These are obviously clean and sanitized, as I mentioned. One inflatable pillow, if you would like to carry. We used to teach the children how to roll up their t-shirts or use their bags as pillows. But over time, we realized that they're not feeling comfortable and we need them to have a good sleep. So inflatable pillows they can carry if they want. We do not provide that. In terms of medicines, we have everything which are there from normal stomach ache, headache, going all the way to nebulizers, anti-tetanus. Everything is available on the camp. There are some which are only administered, even though we are carrying it, will be administered in the hospital. We carry it just in case the hospital doesn't have it, so we have it available. If you're wearing spectacles or glasses, make sure you're carrying an extra pair. And if you can, with the retainer strap, right, so that they don't fall off, especially for rafting. In terms of packing, carry one small day pack or a knapsack, which you can keep if you're flying in. You can keep on the cabin. If you're when you're on the bus, you can keep this up. You can have a warm layer there so that if you feel cold at night, your water bottle, your snacks can be in there so that you're carrying that. One small day pack for that. one rucksack or a duffel bag. Do not send suitcases or trolleys. Children will have to carry their suitcases or trolleys from the top of the roadhead to the campsite. They will not be able to drag it, and it will become very difficult for them. We need something which can go onto their shoulders or on the duffel bag. So a rucksack or a duffel bag, 60 to 70 liters is just fine. These duffel bag rucksacks will remain in their tents. For the backpacking group, when you're going for a night out, we will be issuing other rucksacks to you there, so that only limited stuff is going and you're not carrying all your equipment up to for the night out. In terms of cash, like I said, 3,000 rupees for t-shirts, cap, keychains. If any child is flying, make sure they're carrying a little bit more money for the airport. Any kind of medical or any incidental, we take care of. The children won't be asked to pay for anything over there. Do not carry mobile phones, expensive jewelry, or electronic gadgets. Cameras are carried at your own risk. Now, for children who are flying in, you have to carry a Ziploc or a pouch, a Ziploc bag or a pouch, in which you will keep a power bank with a charging cable for your phone, a printed copy of your return ticket, your original Aadhaar for identification at the airport, and cash for food, at the airport. This pouch will be handed over to us in Delhi. So you'll have your phone till you reach Delhi. Just before the departure, we're going to ask you to hand this over to us and say bye to your parents, so that this goes into seal and goes into a suitcase and then goes under lock and key. You'll get this back when you get back to Delhi. So, and that's why you need the power bank, because your phone might have gone out of charge. So you need to charge it. Return ticket copy is required, so that if you're not dependent on your phone, Aadhaar for entry into the airport, your phone might not be on, and it might take time to get an OTP or anything. If you need to open your Aadhaar, make sure you're carrying these things. Okay, my monologue is over. I can start taking question and answers. You can raise your hand and I'll take question and answers. Now, small information. I know, we've been having the India-Pakistan situation, which is now over. TONS is very far away from all this, and even the routes which we are using have not been affected by anything which during the recent incursion, and we've been running our programs normally over there. We did call off when the escalation happened. We did call off a few programs, but now we are back in action. Okay, question answers. Yes, Neha.
Yeah, hi. I was wondering if you guys can share the route from Delhi. I mean, you said Shimla. Would you be going to
Yeah.
Shimla and turning from there, or would you be turning from Solan?
So from Solan, we go towards Shimla. From just before Shimla, there's a route going to a place called Tuni, Toini. That's the highway we take, right? And we'll go to a place called Hatkoti, and that's where.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, are there any other questions? Otherwise, parents, thank you so much for logging in. Looking forward to seeing your children. Children, see you on camp.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, sorry.
Yes. Yes.
Um, so of course you just spoke about the current condition of the
Situation. Yeah.
country.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm just worried. I mean, of course everything is fine, but what if the airports are non-functional? What if there are no flights taking off, or suddenly there's an emergency? I mean, do you
Ma'am,
have any alternate arrangements for children?
Ma'am, see, if any emergency happens, we're not going to leave the children stranded, right? We will make arrangements for them. We will, if we have to book a hotel, we'll book a hotel for them. We'll keep them with us till we are sure of what route to use, right? If we have to drive them down, say, to a different city to catch a flight, we'll do that also.
And in case of emergency, if we need to connect with you all or our children, would we be having all the details if there's anything? I mean, as parents, and like at least I'm sending my son for the first time. So
Yeah.
we want to get in touch, or it's just sometimes you are just anxious, something goes wrong.
Totally.
I'm sorry. I mean,
Totally.
I understand,
No, totally,
but
ma'am. You're a parent. You have to be worried, right? Okay. So this is what happens. So I'll tell you the process which happens, right? If you have an emergency, there'll be a number on this. The WhatsApp you would have received. There would have been a number of the program manager given to you there. That's your main
right.
point of contact, right? I think it's Nitin for this one, right? So you have to contact him. He can get in touch with the campus and understand what's happening if something is required. If there's any emergency on the camp, right? Say your child gets hurt or something, right? They will call you directly. They don't need to call me or they don't need to call Nitin. They call you directly. So and then you'll get in touch with your child. Now, there can be a situation where you have an emergency at home, right? You have to call us. We'll coordinate with you. It has happened in the past that there have been emergencies at home and we've had to get a child down. So we have coordinated with the parents, understood how to, how do you need them down here? So do you want them to fly out from somewhere or do you want us to get them to Delhi? Because there's a Dehradun airport, right? So we always have an option of getting them there and flying them out from there. Or the Shimla airport, but the Shimla airport is actually less used. So we prefer the Dehradun airport in such times. Other than that, if you are anxious, you can be nervous because it's your first time with your child being there. You can call us. We can send a message to the camp, and we can get understanding of how the child is doing, and we can brief you on the same.
All right. Thank you so much. Also, my boy is flying in from Mumbai with two more
Mumbai.
friends,
Okay.
and so Delhi airport is quite sensitive currently. So I know, of course, one of your personnel will be waiting there, to receive them and all the details. Um, I'm still worried, and honestly, I mean, me and my husband both are on different page. He's saying let him go, and I'm not sure of sending him because of security reasons.
Okay.
So,
So I'll let me tell you one thing that there's hardly any change at the Delhi airport. Okay, it's still the same. Yes, security is a little tighter in the sense that there were two security checks. Now you had the security check once you walked in, and then you had another security check just before you boarded the flight, which was happening in Bombay also. But there was nothing else which had changed over there. We actually have departures happening. We have children coming in from Calcutta and other areas today also. There's been no issues till now, right? So the Delhi airport is, while we get news that Delhi airport is under high alert, Delhi airport is usually under high alert throughout the year, irrespective of what's going on. So we do make sure that we are in touch with the authorities there. If anything is required, they know that we are doing children programs, so they have people in the GMR who get in touch with us if anything is required, and they tell us that okay, you need to make these changes. So those we are on top of. Yes, there have been times there's a VIP movement happening where the prime minister or something is coming, so we are asked to shift our arrival position. But the one which we chosen at Terminal 1 is not affected at all. This used to happen when we were at Terminal 2.
so all the necessary arrangements or last minute changes, um, y'all will be dealing with, and in terms of
Yes,
communicating with
yes,
children.
yes, totally, ma'am. That's why we want them to be carrying their phone till at least they reach here,
Yes,
so
of
that we
course.
are in constant
Yeah.
touch with them.
Yes. All right. Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, ma'am. Ranshir?
Yeah. So, last time I'd gone to Tirthan for like 10 days. So, like,
Hmm.
I have two questions. One, in Tirthan, our activities were like split over. Like, one day we would have a river activity, one day we wouldn't. So, are the activities going to be continuous? Like, first all river activities and then
Yes,
backpacking or mountain biking?
yes,
So,
that's how it's gonna work.
so this time it's been split. Also, since what's the route through this time? Like last time we went through Chandigarh as one of the main cities. What city are we going through this time?
You will be bypassing Chandigarh. You'll go close, but you'll bypass Chandigarh. You will be reaching a place called Panchkula, and from there you'll be heading up to the Shimla area. You will bypass Shimla. You'll get close to Shimla, but you'll bypass Shimla and you'll reach Harkoti.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay. Pianki?
Yeah, hi. I had a small question because I'm sending my son again for the first time, just in case he's a little low because he's not been away any time. So, just in case he's feeling a little low there, which he might not be with his friends, yeah, is he allowed to kind of make a small call any time? Like, will he be?
So, homesickness is normal, right? Even
Mhm.
for us, right? Even while I've been to camp so many times, the first 2 days, even I'm like, okay, I have to get adjusted, right? Because you're not used to that. We want them to get adjusted to that. So we will be encouraging them. We will be talking to them. If they're not able to get over their homesickness, yes, we do get a call arranged. But it's only if in extreme conditions. We want them to get over that. We want them to become confident in themselves.
Okay. So, I mean, until unless he is not very in a very bad state of homesickness, he will not be
No,
called.
not very bad. I'm not going to wait for a breakdown to
Mhm.
happen. Don't worry
Yes.
about that, right?
Yeah.
That's it's obviously we'll be looking over there. There are sometimes children don't open up, right? We've had and more for the junior age group than the senior age group. We've had children who came with their best friends and the best friends were bullying them, right? So
Okay.
these girls and boys were going and saying we are homesick, but we are not able to understand because they were doing all the activities normally. There was everything, right? So we would be talking to them and we would not understand what's going on, and we made them talk to the parents, and then we understood that their best friend in the tent is pulling them, right? So we
Okay.
have to take action accordingly. So that happens. The child has to come and tell us, right? If they're feeling homesick, we will talk to them. Everybody feels homesick. Everybody wants their mother and father there, right? uh,
Hmm.
then they're not there, they feel homesick. But we want them to try to get over that, because it's for an 8 day. It's not as if I'm saying, okay, you're not going to talk to your parents forever. It's an 8 day program, right? But if they're not able to adjust, say today they're saying, "Nahi, I want to talk to my mom," we'll say, okay, let's do something. Let's keep you distracted.
Hmm.
Tomorrow, if it's happening again, my instructors might say, okay, they will get in touch,
Okay.
right? Right. So
Okay, so
don't worry
there
about
will.
that. We are not going to reach at a level that where he's having a breakdown,
Okay, okay.
right?
And will there be some instructors going and checking them once in a while in the camp also, in like when they have already
Totally.
retired to the camps? And
Yeah,
what
we
I've
do.
understood, the washrooms are outside the tent. They are not, inbuilt.
Yes, they are
You have to
not
step
inbuilt
out.
now.
You have to step
Uh,
out of the camp at night also to go to
yeah,
the washrooms.
yes, which the
Okay.
path is lit. Just hold on, I'll just put it back up so that you can see the photograph, right? That will just help. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so I'm hoping you can see my screen again. Okay, so when you see this, right, you see this small structure at the back, if you can see it? That is the toilet block. Right? So the children have to come. One side is the girls, one side is the boys. So the children
Okay.
have to walk there. This whole path is lit up. There is a security guard at night. There are instructors on rotation who are up at night.
Okay. 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 Thank you so much.
Neha Sabawat?
Yeah, hi. I might have missed this information, but I just wanted to reconfirm, which is the closest medical facility that you have if you have a emergency of a higher nature, like, where it requires a big
Purola is the
hospital.
nearest. Yeah, Purola is the nearest hospital. Dehradun is the nearest multi-speciality. This is the big hospital, which is
A
Max.
big hospital there.
Yeah.
Okay, but not the Kasoli doesn't come in this way, right? If I'm not right, if I'm not corrected,
Kasoli
that doesn't
will
come.
come, but Kasoli will be the other way around, right? So we have to go on a different path and come back down. Max is a little bit closer in terms of reaching.
Okay, so that's the closest multi-specialty that you can get through. Okay, my
Yeah,
other
and
question.
also we prefer going that side because the Dehradun airport is more active than the Shimla airport. So if we need to get the
Yes,
child out, right,
correct,
we would prefer
correct,
going towards Dehradun side than this side.
correct. Perfect. And the other is the night driving, right? I know all
Yes.
your all your journeys happening at night. Is there any specific reason that you take a night journey, or is it
Yes,
safe?
multiple
Is it? I mean,
reasons.
yeah.
Okay. Yes, I know the biggest
Because
concern
as
for
our
every
house,
parent.
we never travel at night, so I was just
Totally.
very curious. Yeah.
Totally. So, a lot of people who travel regularly to the mountains, like me, prefer night travel for multiple reasons. Okay. One is that the daytime traffic is too massive in North India, right? Where a 14-hour journey can become a 24-hour journey easily, right?
Mm-hmm.
One thing is that. Then, during the day, children are up. They need longer breaks. then reaching. So, the journey, that's why the journey keeps on increasing. Second, the traffic at night is much lower. These are wide highways. We are not using the narrow highways or before sunrise, right? Even when so currently the departure time is 7 p.m. Last year, the departure time was actually 11 p.m. Because we used to go via Dehradun. We used to make sure when we are getting onto the mountain roads, we are at sunrise. We are not in at night time. Over here, because those are narrow roads. Now we have wide roads going all the way till Shimla, right? So we have no issues in going, and these are Volvos which are very comfortable, very safe, and our instructors are up at night. One major reason is if we leave in the morning, right, and we do daytime travel, the children will reach at night. When they reach the campsite at night, it's almost getting dark or it has gotten dark. They're in a new surrounding. For them to adjust and actually adapt becomes very difficult. Over here, they reach in the morning, they have the whole day to get adjusted to the campsite.
Hmm.
And we've
Correct. That
tried,
makes sense.
trust me, we've tried all kinds of this thing, and this
I'm
is the best
sure.
option which we came up.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. So no, that answers my questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. Priyanki, is your hand up from before?
I'll just lower my hand.
Yeah. Noor.
Yeah, so I was wondering, like, for my camera, there is like a charging point, right?
Yes, yes. It's near the bomb shelter, which is the common area.
Okay, so like if my camera runs out of battery, I can just charge it.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Bombay parents, we will be connecting you before also, but as I can see, you already connected with each other. We would have made a group just before the departure, 2 days before the departure, so that you can coordinate with each other. But yes, you can always coordinate, and we've actually recommended the same flights to everybody. Adi, no. Unfortunately, during the summers, I'm handling all the parents and all the escalations. So I do not go on camp on the summer. Okay, parents?
So,
Yes, Hital.
so yes, so my son has motion sickness.
Okay.
Now that it's a night journey, I think it should be okay if he's asleep. But otherwise, I
We
would
have
request
none.
somebody to just
Yeah. So we will be asking them, whoever has motion sickness, we give them a mild anti-vomiting pill called Stujuron, which they just keep on their tongue and it dissolves. It helps them not puke. If it becomes really bad, then we give it Avomine.
Sorry, could you please tell me the name of the medicine again?
Stujuron is the one which we give, which is a mild anti-vomiting pill,
All right.
Stugeron. And if it's a very severe case of motion sickness, then it's Avomine, Avomine.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Chandni.
Hi. I wanted to know that during these 3 days of river rafting, are they going to come back to the base camp every day, or are they going to be,
They will.
staying in different camps
No, they're going to be coming back every day.
to
By
the same
lunch,
camp?
by lunch, they're back on the camp.
Oh, that's all I wanted to know. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, parents, if you don't have questions, you can start logging off. Whoever has questions can keep asking. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.